Welcome to Software Reliability Engineering Interview Crashcasts, your go-to podcast for mastering SRE interviews. I'm your host, Sheila, and today we're joined by Victor, a seasoned SRE expert. We'll be discussing a common interview question for senior backend engineer positions. Victor, are you ready to dive in?
Absolutely, Sheila. I'm excited to share my insights and help our listeners prepare for their interviews.
Great. Let's start with our question. What is Software Reliability Engineering, SRE, and how does it differ from traditional system administration?
That's an excellent question, Sheila. At its core, Software Reliability Engineering, or SRE, is a discipline that applies software engineering principles to infrastructure and operations. It aims to create scalable and highly reliable software systems.
Interesting. Could you elaborate on how this differs from traditional system administration?
Certainly. Traditional system administration typically focuses on maintaining existing systems, troubleshooting issues as they arise, and ensuring day-to-day operations run smoothly. SRE, on the other hand, takes a more proactive approach. It emphasizes automation, measuring and monitoring systems, and continuously improving reliability and performance.
I see. So SRE is more about preventing issues rather than just reacting to them.
Exactly. SRE teams often create and implement solutions that prevent problems from occurring in the first place. They use software engineering skills to build tools and systems that can automatically handle many tasks traditionally done manually by system administrators.
That's fascinating. Can you dive deeper into some specific principles or practices that are central to SRE?
Of course. One key principle in SRE is the concept of service-level objectives, SLOs, and service-level indicators, SLIs. SLIs are quantitative measures of service level, like uptime or latency. SLOs are target values for these metrics that represent the desired level of service. SREs use these to objectively measure and improve system reliability.
That sounds like a more data-driven approach. Are there other principles you'd highlight?
Absolutely. Another crucial concept is the error budget. This is the allowed amount of downtime or errors a service can experience before it violates its SLO. SRE teams use this budget to balance the need for releasing new features with maintaining system stability.
Interesting. How does this concept play out in practice?
Well, if a service is performing well below its error budget, the team might decide to push more features or take more risks. Conversely, if the error budget is nearly exhausted, they might focus solely on improving reliability until the budget is replenished.
That makes sense. Now, let's consider some edge cases. How would an SRE approach differ for a small startup versus a large enterprise?
That's a great question. In a small startup, SRE practices might be less formal and more integrated with the development process. The focus might be on building reliability into the system from the ground up and automating as much as possible to allow a small team to manage a growing infrastructure. In a large enterprise, SRE often involves managing complex, interconnected systems. There might be dedicated SRE teams working alongside traditional operations teams. The focus could be more on standardizing practices across different services, managing dependencies between teams, and handling scale at a much larger level.
Excellent point. Can you give us a practical example of how SRE principles might be applied in a real-world scenario?
Certainly. Let's consider a large e-commerce platform. An SRE team might implement automated Canary releases for new features. This involves gradually rolling out changes to a small percentage of users, automatically monitoring key metrics, and either proceeding with the full rollout or rolling back based on those metrics. Canary releases are named after the practice of using canaries in coal mines to detect dangerous gases. In this case, the canary is the small group of users who first experience the new feature.
That's a great example. Looking ahead, what trends do you see shaping the future of SRE?
I think we'll see increased integration of artificial intelligence and machine learning in SRE practices. These technologies could help predict potential issues before they occur and automate complex decision-making processes. Additionally, as cloud-native architectures become more prevalent, SRE practices will likely evolve to better handle highly distributed, microservices-based systems.
Thank you, Victor, for those insightful answers. Before we wrap up, I'd like to offer some tips for our listeners preparing for SRE interviews. First, make sure you understand the core principles of SRE, like SLOs, error budgets, and the importance of automation. Second, be prepared to discuss real-world examples of how you've applied these principles. Finally, don't forget to highlight your software engineering skills. Remember, SRE is about applying these skills to operations and infrastructure. A common pitfall is focusing too much on traditional system administration tasks without emphasizing the proactive, engineering-driven approach of SRE. Also, be ready to discuss how you'd handle trade-offs between reliability and feature development, as this is a key aspect of the SRE role. That's all we have time for today. Thank you, Victor, for joining us, and thank you to our listeners. Until next time, keep reliability in mind, and happy interviewing.